guys, it's Karen from the future. So I'm editing my video right now. I don't know how to make timestamps in my videos yet. So I'm going to go ahead and in the drop down below, it's not going to be linked like in other people's because I haven't learned how to do that yet. But I will, because this video is so long, I'll go ahead and let you know when each granny square is being shown and also the timestamp for the 30-day montage that's going to be at the end. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up because like I am rambly and it's just who I am as a person. So, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Karen. Today we embark upon the last 6 squares of the 30-day of Granny Square challenge for September that absolutely nobody asked me to do, but I decided to do anyway. Do I have regrets? It's been really time consuming. I've learned a lot. I've enjoyed it for the most part. It's been a crazy month. I've done up to this point 26 granny squares specifically for this challenge. I have completed and frogged a whole ass hexagonal cardigan that's like 30 ounces of yarn. I frogged it because I didn't measure it correctly. Just jumped right on in. I didn't know anything about anything. I was just like, I'm gonna make it, and based on pictures, I didn't watch really any tutorials. I was just like, we're going in headstrong, and I didn't take proper measurements, and it was a disaster. Like, I know what the issue is, I could fix it, but I used the wrong yarn, and it caused some sensory issues, and I can't do it. So, what a segue there. I've made a million granny squares. Let me go into this. Okay, so I was planning on making a new hexagonal. And while I was doing that and planning the color palette and all that, my friend Frank, I am going to name drop here. I do have permission because we are exchanging services, right? My friend Frank is a tattoo artist. I've known Frank since 2005, before he was a tattoo artist. We went to high school together. And he dropped his Halloween flash. My friend Frank is the owner of Immortal Tattoo in Oklahoma City and also has been on 2 seasons of Ink Master. That is quite the resume. He has done several tattoos on me. Excellent, just an excellent dude. Anyway, he dropped his Halloween flash, and I saw this guy, and I thought, I need that on my body. So I reached out to him, and I said, hey, you can tell me no, but how would you feel about exchanging services? I make you a cardigan, and you tattoo me. And he was totally down for it. So that is my super exciting October big project. I am making a cardigan for my friend Frank. The tattoo is just a bonus. I am so thrilled to be making a cardigan for this person. What a great opportunity he's letting me this is. You know what I mean? We have already picked his color palette. I'm going to not show that here. That's going to be a completely different video because we are still embarking upon the 30 days of granny squares no one asked me to do. We already know the style of cardigan. So back full circle to cardigan. So I was planning this hexagonal cardigan, and then I reached out to Frank because I saw the tattoo. He agreed. I presented him with a couple of options of cardigans, right? He selected one. I purchased the pattern, and then I went to Michael's later that week, and I was still going to do my cardigan based off the same color palette that I had originally chosen, but Michael's had a sale, and I was afraid of getting skeins from different dye lots, which, spoiler alert, happened anyway, even though the label for Loops and Threads has the exact same information. What's up with that? What's up with that? One gold is not the same as the other one. Excuse me. Anyway. It doesn't matter. I'll use that particular skein for the ribbing, and then I'll add like the gold holographic stuff to it so you can't tell because it's going to be spangly anyway. Anyway, my point in bringing this up is I wanted to make sure I ironed out every single kink, all right, in this pattern, because as I've learned in the past 3, almost 4 months since picking crochet back up, remember I've been crocheting for 28 years and I took a little bit of a hiatus. These patterns that are being put out that you're purchasing, whether they're free or purchase patterns, it's a popularity contest. They don't want pattern testers, if they have them, to give them honest feedback. They're going to pick the people who are going to freely advertise them whilst frolicking about in unrealistic scenarios. It absolutely is it's a popularity contest, especially on Instagram. Like it's ridiculous. And I have probably purchased 40 to 50 patterns since I picked up crocheting again in June. And with the exception of the hot dog that I made for my coworker, and the free turkey hat that I made like last week, all of them have been shit. And I'm not even kidding you, which that says a lot. I've had to alter and adjust and use my thinker, and like I don't like doing that anyway. Like, no negativity in this video, but my point being, I wanted to make sure that all of the kinks were ironed out of this pattern. So I went ahead and I'm making my own. Frank and I were the same size, so once I'm finished making mine, I'm just going to take it to him and say, hey, how does this fit you? Look, take measurements then. And once that's complete, start his. So we already have a color palette. I am going to talk to him to make sure that he wants a traditional granny square. I think I'm going to present him with like maybe 5 different square options. As long as they're 6 by 6, it'll work. So, and then I'm going to document that process, like him trying them on and like us exchanging and the tattoo. And like, I think that would be so fun. And I'm so excited. It's woo! And then also in October, I will be making an amigurumi of a parakeet for my friend, and also a Facebook friend making another turkey hat. November, Christmas galore. Christmas for coworkers, Christmas for family. Originally for my family, I was going to go ahead and do Plant You Can't Kill, but in true my last name fashion, I can't keep secrets. So I was like, here's a plant for you. Here's a plant for you. Just Oprahing it up and like, So my siblings, like, if you haven't figured it out, you're getting wearables if time permits it. I already discussed with my little brother. He's doing one thing. I'm doing the matching something. My little brother knits. I crochet and knit. So it'll be a fun time. So, and then December, I think, is probably still remaining Christmas gifts and whatever I want, because December is my birthday month. I was originally going to plan on doing a ugly Christmas sweater, but I don't necessarily know about that. Maybe making a ugly Christmas hat and me wearing my ugly Christmas sweater dress. We'll see how time permits, okay? Because I could make an ugly Christmas sweater vest. That would save time. To be determined. I need to get a whiteboard. I need to get a planner, but I want to get more organized. That's a big goal. So I need a planner. But granny squares, if I forgot. 925. It's not a square. It's a rectangle. I love it. Super simple. Chain 21. Put a granny cluster. The 6 chain. 6 chain from hook. Skip 2, and then granny cluster in the 3rd. So every 3rd, you're going to go ahead and put a granny cluster until you reach the last 3, and in the last chain, you're going to go ahead and put a double crochet. If you're changing color, you're going to fasten off and then slip stitch anywhere in there. And if you're going to do it like in the middle, chain 3 or 2, your preference, double crochet to make a granny cluster. You do not have to chain 1 in between these. If yours starts getting weird and warpy, maybe frog it and try that for spatial reasons. Your first corner is going to be a little different than every corner going after. Every corner going after the first corner is going to be like a traditional granny square. That first one is going to be granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster, chain 2. And that's just so you can turn, because instead of being a square, you're a rectangle. So you have to, like a paper clip, you have to like get that curvature. Right, so it's going to be 3 2 3 2 3 right here, 3 2 3 2 3 right here, and then everywhere else is 3 2 3 3 2 3. I hope that makes sense. If not, I will link a video down below. She explains it better than I can. So gorgeous. Also, I was thinking for Christmas, maybe making one maybe a little bit bigger and then measuring Toby's right here and then his rib cage and making an ugly dog Christmas sweater. Maybe for Mozzie too. My only concern with making an ugly Christmas sweater for Mozzie is she's a Malamute puppy, so like she don't need a sweater. But I did find Crochet by Sarah Satch, I think. She's a fellow Okie. And she has Christmas dog bandanas and they go up to Mozzie's size. So I might make Toby's like Santa and I might make hers like an elf. Anyway, 926 granny square. Not everybody's going to understand this. That's fine. If you get the joke, odds are you're probably my people. And if you get the joke and you're offended, you're not my people. Sorry. But it's hilarious. There's no pattern for this. So if you would like a pattern for this, I can make one. So 926. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this and edit it, and when I come back, I will have 4 more granny squares, and we will conclude the month of September and dive straight forward into October. Hi. So it's the next clip in the video, which means that the 30-day of granny square challenge that nobody asked me to do is now, or has now concluded. I have my last 4 squares complete, and I'm staring at them right now. But before I get into that, a couple things. First thing, I made this. Whoop. I used this, I thought it was ombre, but it's not ombre. It's this. It's very soft. So I'm really excited, and it took me about an hour. I'll post the link to the pattern below. Thinking about, I've seen pictures of people that have done this in pumpkin pie colors and then put like a little dollop of whipped cream. How cute would that be for Thanksgiving? So I'm thinking about low-key making myself a Thanksgiving one to wear with my Thanksgiving dress. Yes, I have a Thanksgiving dress. If there's one thing you need to know about me, I like a good theme. So I guess here's a picture of me in my Thanksgiving dress. My roommate and I have matching ones. We like a good theme. Now that's taken care of. Another thing, and I think I'm also going to probably put this in the beginning of next video so people actually see it. If you've made it this far, thank you. My birthday's in December, and for my birthday, I am going to, I think, save up and buy an actual vlogging camera and some memory cards and better audio, like a better mic. I'm aware that the audio in my video is kind of crappy, so it's something that I'm kind of self-conscious about, but I can't really do anything right now. Anytime I film on my cell phone in any part of the house, I get these weird light distortion, and I don't like it. So it's like either I have a clearer video visually and the audio is crappy, or visually my video is crappy but the audio is great. So I feel like I can't win right now, but I really am trying. Okay, now to granny squares. Saturday was the 27th. So this is the 27th. She's cute, she's retro. So I wasn't aware that this was kind of like a 3D pop out situation until I was making it. I would just take note that the back is netting. I don't think you should have any problems with little toes and little fingers or paws and claws getting attached in there if you wanted to make this into an Afghan without putting a backing on it. But just be aware, there's a reason why nobody shows the back of their Afghan. So that is the 27th. I typed in cat granny square and I just clicked on the first one. And the cat was black, and I was waiting for them to just crochet the ears in, and it never came. And then she transitioned from black to white, so it was a circle on a circle, and I was like, okay. And I, of course, am using different colors, so I used a variegated yarn for the cat. And then I just picked a random color, which ended up being Jelly Bean, the color Jelly Bean, which is actually a Kelly Green by I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. And I was like, all right, I'm going to roll with it. And then made the border, picked hot pink because I've got scrap yarn on my desk from Yarn Barf. And then she made the ears, and I'm like, why is there this weird circle around the cat head? And then I looked, and the title of the video was Moonlight Cat. So my cat is either a Martian with a green moon or having, like, took mushrooms and is tripping. But this is it, and I embroidered stars on it. And whiskers. Can you tell it's a cat? But also, it's so cute. 9 29s square. This one took a long time, and the tutorial was super clear. I don't know where I missed a step, but I missed a step somewhere, and so I had to just wing it for some of this. But I think I was maybe distracted by the dog or something. But I mean, it's super cute. Definitely not a beginner square. Look how cute it is. Super cute, right? And then the last square of the lot, 930 square. I have a lot of warm colors and my hands were just tired at this point, guys. I still have 28 squares to make for my cardigan, and I just wanted something easy peasy lemon squeezy. And when I first picked crocheting back up, that was non-amigurumi, back in July, this was the first square that I actually did. And so I was like, I'm going to end this with the first square that I did this year. With a daisy square in cool colors, since everything else is warm color. So I'm happy with it. And now to sew them together. And I'm thinking about moving this over here and then putting my tapestry right there, or pulling out some of my favorite squares and doing them together and then making a bag out of it. I'm still undecided, but that concludes this challenge. And boy, oh boy, was it difficult. Totally worth it though. But I'm happy with it. So I suppose I'll put a picture montage of all the squares now. Hey, so real quick, Karen from the future. I just got back from the vet. I was covered in dog hair, had to change. I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway, I think I got all the squares in 365, the patriotic one. I removed the white border. I don't know what happened or why that one has a gangster lean, but I am too lazy to go back and fix it. There's something wrong with one of the corners. I think maybe I did a chain 3 or chain 4 instead of chain 3. Anyway. I think I got all of them. So here you go.